Good morning and welcome back to the channel. It is early here. It is about quarter to 6 a.m. and today is Truss Day. We're finally here after a kind of a 2-week delay. For those that are unfamiliar with the channel, we are, my wife and I are building our homestead and our farm from the ground up using our own labor and learning as we go as we build this. So quite an adventure to say the least, a do-it-yourself project on a big scale. But it's quite exciting and quite rewarding all the way around as well. We started out with the shop last year, and so we had a place to store all of our equipment and tools and supplies. And then this year, at the beginning of the year, started with the house. And you see how far we've come doing ourselves. Certainly something that you can do. It's going to take a lot of work and experience to do it, but I'm a firm believer that if I can learn and do this, it's something that anybody can do. I'm certainly not a paid professional nor a professional contractor, and so this is it's a learn as you go. And you know, I certainly do make mistakes. You know, that goes along with it, but you learn as you grow. In all honesty, I have to be very frank that I am extremely nervous. This last week and a half, as we've been doing this and getting ready to meet with the contractor and kind of size things up, you know, the stress level has been pretty incredible. We're at a full stop until we get the trusses on, and that is nerve-wracking in itself. But to be at a point where I can't do this myself and need the help, and waiting on the help has caused quite a bit of anxiety. Um, you know, it's one of those things. To be honest, it's kind of disconcerting in a way to not be able to do this myself. But you know, that's where wisdom comes in, and I've really given that a lot of thought over the course of the days. You know, wisdom is something we don't have when we're younger, and we certainly pick up as we get older. You know, as you get time and experience, you learn what you can and can't do, what you're willing to do. And this is just one that my wisdom said that this is way beyond scope of what you can do. So it's time to get in help. We have a construction crew that is going to be helping with that. You know, as I've said in previous videos, the problem with this is that it's a little bit more complex with the number of trusses that we have right here. I had 65 trusses with 2 giant girder trusses to go down the center where the arch is here for the wall. There are 2 girder trusses that hold up that part of that, and so quite a bit of extra work. Certainly not something that my wife and I can do with just the help of the crane guy. We got away with it with a shop, and I mean, we got away with it. We're novices at it, but we managed to pull that off, and it was a ton of work. I'll wore us both out. You know, so we realized pretty quickly that there is no way to get this done without help. So I'm certainly grateful for the help, and we will get started today with getting the trusses together. Crew should be here shortly, and we'll get rocking and rolling. As you can see with the 2 girder trusses, those are 4-ply piece, and they weigh about 1,200 pounds each, or a little bit more. I'm not quite sure. They're 42 feet long, as are most of the other trusses, and so it's quite a bit of truss to deal with. But those will support the center trusses in the middle of the house that create the archway.
Some people don't charge your car right now because they're having blackouts.
Yeah, they got to do rolling blackouts,
man. Freaking idiots. Hey, ordered someone we get that crane, it's freaking easy. I'll let it snap, man. Got it, Bernard? I don't got it no more. I got it. First, we're stuck on the gusset. Hold it. That's just a piece. I'm gonna lift it up, Tony. There we go. just don't slide. Bernard gave up on us. Let me get down, buddy.
Our main priority at the start of the morning was sorting out all the trusses. All 65 trusses were not in order, and so we had to break them down by where they went in the house in order to get things stabilized prior to the crane arriving, so that once it arrived, because it's $140 an hour to rent it, we had to get everything prepped so that we could start craning the moment that it arrived.
My feet, I'm so damn busy.
Yeah, just watching this is way more than you and I can handle, so I'm glad we got these guys here to help us out. Under normal circumstances, it should only take 4 to 5 hours to do a house this size when setting the trusses. However, with our complications, that was not the case. Instead, it's going to require a second day and another truck, which we'll have to get from another location at more cost. Well, we're here at the end of day one, and we managed to get the gable end to there. We got the girder trusses up on both sides, and then we ran into a problem. So the drawings themselves are really confusing, and it's a complex roof on how it does its vault on the inside and the outside. And so we set the truss hangers up on the bottom, and realistically, that's not where they go. They belong up on this beam right here instead of down here. And so now we need to pull all these truss hangers off, put them up on here, and do that to make that right. As you can see, with that, there's a huge gap between the top of this truss and the peak of the roof, and the little small P trusses they have to fill those gaps is where they caught the mistake. The good part is that they realize that, and they're going to be able to fix it tomorrow. We fortunately had to get a second crane out of Missoula to come in tomorrow to finish off the trusses, but we will pick it up again tomorrow and go from there. But so far, a good day. I'm pretty happy with it. It's coming along quite a bit. Well, we're back at it this morning, and got a long day ahead. The good part is that I got the gable end sheeted before we put the trusses up. That's a huge cost savings for me, or time savings, because I was trying to think about how I was going to get that done. But anyway, we'll get at it this morning. We got to do the repairs and pull all the buckets off of the trusses so we can reset the center, and then around noon should get the crane, and we'll go from there. So let's get at it.
God damn it, got hot. Yeah, that last one. Just watch out for your bolts. Don't get on the wrong side of the bolt. Woo!
So the main truss installation is complete. That's pretty good. I'm pretty beat, and it has been a long couple of days to get this done. We still have some smaller 10-foot P-trusses to place up in here to finish off the roof line, but we'll get that in this next coming weeks. Still have a lot to do as far as internal bracing and some other stuff before we get continue on with the roof decking and fascia and other things. But all in all, it turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how things went for us. I'm glad that I ended up getting the contractor to help me with this, because you know, digging into it, it certainly turned out to be a lot more work than any of us had anticipated. Again, it took us 2 days to do it, after we had to make some corrections in the joist hangers, or the truss hangers, and some other items. One thing I was thinking about is that, especially with the channel and how to and all the building here, is that it's easy to sit there and look at YouTube or watch construction shows and see the finished product. You don't see the work that goes into it. You don't see the mistakes generally on a lot of things, and you don't see the end. You know, all you end up seeing is the end result. So one thing I'm trying to do with the channel is to actually, you know, show the mistakes. I mean, this is a do-it-yourself project, and there's going to be mistakes. Some of them are costly, and some of them not just financially but time-wise. But it takes quite a bit to do it. And so I'm trying to be as genuine as I can in these videos, and making sure that we're showing all of the, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And there are certainly some things in here that need to be adjusted and are certainly ugly. I mean, for example, if you look at the window, where the top of the truss sits and the window, you know, I've got to readjust the window framing in order to match that truss. There was a calculated guess there, and I was off quite a bit, so we'll have to fix that. But I really do try to keep integrity and genuine feelings and experience in this, and hopefully it does help. You know, it's one thing to come on and see YouTube and see a perfect build, and you know, there's a lot of do-it-yourself channels where these people are like me, are not experienced and are not contractors or builders, and you know, you see their videos and it looks like they're experts at it, and the truth is none of us are. It's a do-it-yourself project, and there's a lot of learning curve that goes into it. So anyway, I hope that I show that and express that in the videos.